Welcome back to another freaking video. As I was at school today, I realized Trent McDuffie got traded, and I needed to make a video on that immediately because not only does that mean gigantic things to the draft, but also it's just fun news for me. I like these type of trades. I like these type of mock draft trades, and this is gigantic for my mock draft coming out later today. I'm gonna make 2 videos today. You guys get a double special. But it's gonna be a lot of there's gonna be a lot of interesting things to talk about and how this turns out for each teams. As of right now, well, it's finalized. So right now, the trade is Trent McDuffie is getting sent to LA to Kansas from Kansas City. Kansas City is receiving a 29th overall pick. So my mock draft is gonna be a little outdated, but I'm gonna add some stuff there. They're going to get, I think, a 5th and a 6th, and then next year's 3rd. And that's going to be really crucial for this team that needs maybe an extra couple of picks or youth and the Chiefs don't usually mess up on some of these day 3 picks or day 2 picks, so that might be crucial to them. Let's look at the trade thing. Let's go to Adam Schefter's report. First off, I just saw this right now as 14 minutes ago. This was posted. Rest in peace, Lou Holtz. That's really tragic to hear. Yeah, prayers up to him and his family. Chiefs have now informed Taylor they will be released. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here for something else. This. Mahomes already tweeted. So Adam Schefter posted that. There we go. This is the full trade. So the Rams receive Trent McDuffie from Kansas City. So I honestly, for a 1st, a 5th, 6th, and 3rd, I was completely right. I think I maybe said 2nd instead of 2027 2nd. But again, regardless, it's a good pick. It's really interesting to see how this is. Honestly, I think this is a win-win for both teams. I think this both of these guys needed to, I guess, move on, because were you sure you're gonna trade Trent McDuffie from the Chiefs? Were you really that sure that he was gonna get paid? They didn't have the money for him. I know they're gonna let go of Jalen Watson, but they're probably gonna draft a corner now. Maybe you go Mansour, maybe you go later and take Cisse or Hood or Abney, one of those type of guys. Chris Johnson maybe in the 2nd. There's a lot of moving parts to this, and this is really gonna shake up the Rams trade too, because the Rams really had essentially a free pick, because again, traded back James Pierce Jr. Trade back so the Falcons can get James Pierce Jr. I know this isn't that pick. This is their actual original pick that they would have gone regardless if they didn't trade back or not. But they kind of had house money. I don't think this trade would have happened if the Rams really if the Rams didn't have that pick. I think they would probably have stick and picked there and gone maybe developed a corner by themselves or something else. But now that they have number 13 overall, they're going to take one of their guys, and this is actually going to change my mock draft a little bit, because maybe they go for a corner here, and that's going to be another interesting area to think about. Or they still go Mekhi Lemon, Carlton Tate, or Jordan Tyson. You can maybe do that, but there's definitely going to be a lot of moving parts to this. And the thing with Trent McDuffie, right? He was in a major down year, and I think that's a real issue in some cases. And the Chiefs didn't want to pay him top corner money if he was having a downward slope, but he was a former All-Pro. That's why the Rams are trading this much capital for him, because they wanted that. They wanted to make sure they have that number 1 corner. And with Zane Durant hitting free agency, do you want to take a chance on someone like Jamal McCoy, who I had mocked in this next mock draft? You'll see who I have Jamal McCoy mocked. Do you think that's going to be worth it, or do you think I don't know. Do you think you would want to take a chance on somebody else, like Keith Abney? Colton Hood had a really bad Senior Bowl. He was getting burned by a bunch of people. He was also didn't test amazingly at the combine. He had some good drills, but didn't test extraordinary to the point where he's back in the 1st round consensus. Do you want to take a chance on? Do you want to take a chance on Mansur Lane if Jeremiah Love's available off Mahomes' torn ACL? Honestly, Mahomes' torn ACL. When I made a video about this 2 months ago, I said Mahomes' torn ACL is more detrimental to you think. Not only for himself and his eventually longevity. Obviously, that's going to be a real issue too. But ACL injuries aren't as much as a problem as they used to be. But definitely going to be a crazy part to think about how this roster is constructed and where they go from here. Do they build youngly? Do they sell in kind of a win now mode and kind of use Mahomes 2nd prime? And Mahomes will be Mahomes. But do they still bolster up that roster? Because Mahomes can't keep on doing this at age 36, 37, throwing to some of these inconsistent on-field receivers. I don't think Xavier Worthy is a wide receiver 1. I don't think Rashee Rice isn't consistent enough. Off-the-field issues with his whole speeding situation. You don't know if he's that available all the time. There's a lot of issues there. And Trent McDuffie is there. This setting him off kind of means okay, maybe they're ready to build more for the future too for Mahomes, so he can eventually have a better roster in the future instead of now. And the Chiefs are smart in that way. I honestly, like I said, I think this is a win-win trade for both teams. The Rams get their cornerback one. They get their corner one instead of developing a injury-prone corner and Jamal McCoy taking him at 13 or 29, or reaching on a corner like Colton Hood or Brandon Cisse, who are both very raw, or Keith Abney, who doesn't have the measurables as some people like. That's going to be another interesting area. They also get 5th and 6th round picks, and they also get a 2027 third, which can also turn into something. And good GMs know how to hit on these big trades, or these late round picks, and that's going to be an interesting way to think about it. And honestly, I honestly, again, I think this is a win-win trade. If I was to give a grade for this, I would think the Rams get a B+. I think Trey McDuffie is definitely on a down year, and you're kind of like essentially buying lower than you usually would be on the market. But you're gonna have to eventually pay him, and you want to pay all those mouths to feed. You're gonna have to pay a bunch of these guys soon. Anyways, you're gonna have to pay Verse, Young, all these guys, which will be a lot of areas to be concerned with, and there's also going to be a lot of issues with some of these this roster construction. You're probably going to buy now into Matthew Stafford, but do you want to eventually build into the future for a new quarterback? That's kind of like there's a lot of uncertainty there, but I definitely can give this a B+ because it is kind of like an all-in move too, because they didn't really have the lockdown corner. They had Zane Durant as their number one corner, and that's not really going to get the job done in a corner or in a room with very stacked, or in a division with very stacked receivers and Marvin Harrison Jr. Obviously JSN and Shaheed at one point, Cooper Kupp. With the 49ers, they had Ayuk a couple years ago. They had Juan Jennings, who isn't that bad. Ricky Pearsall. Like it's a very deep roster, a very deep division too. And I feel like the Cardinals have a really good. They had a pretty good receiving core too with Marvin Harrison Jr. I want pretty good receiver for Marvin Harrison Jr. Do you want St. Durant or Marvin Harrison Jr.? I know Marvin Harrison Jr. hasn't had the production as people thought, but he's still a good receiver. I don't know why people are selling on him so quickly. It's only second year. And then there's also like obviously other receivers on the NFC like Justin Jefferson, Malik Neighbors, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, Terry McLaurin, Deebo Samuel. Like there's all those big fish in the pond, and you're kind of sitting there and you don't have a true number one corner that you had to draft and develop on, and maybe even reach on some of that. So that's gonna be an interesting scenario. And for the Chiefs, I would probably give this an A too. I think the Chiefs would love getting rid of Trey McDuffie, who they weren't going to pay anyways. Might as well get some capital. I think teams need to do this often. They need to move on quicker. I think if you just let them walk in free agency and get nothing in return, that's not worth it. It's really not worth it. If this guy you can't pay, you do your math. Make sure you think about every single process. But I'm pretty sure the Chiefs did, and we're like, okay, we're gonna have to pay him regardless. Regardless if you do this, cut this guy, have salary fillers, all that stuff. It's going to be a easier part to trade him away and get some capital back and just cut our losses. And that is a mature thing to do in an organization that I know people are going to get a bunch of cheap glazer, or I'm going to be called a cheap glazer for this. But honestly, this is a really good move. I think this is a really good move. I think they really need to move on, and this is pretty good, like a win-win for both teams. One gets what they really need right now, and the other gets capital for future picks to build next to a Mahomes type player. And maybe the Chiefs aren't as competitive as they were the last couple years, and have a down 2 or 3 years. I would rather have a down 2 or 3 years and be really good in the next 4 or 5 than kind of like build now and have a okay to above average roster and be done in 3 years, and then you're wasting Mahomes' rest of his career, right? This is a better move than them just saying, fuck it, we're going to keep trying McDuffie. If he works, he works. If he doesn't, he doesn't. We let him walk. That's not the right way to think about it. And this is a very mature move for a pretty historic franchise. And I think this is a great move for the Rams too, because they get their number one corner in a corner, or in a room, or in a division and conference with stacked NFC type receivers. So definitely going to be a great pick for whatever team ends up, whatever the Chiefs end up getting from this pick. I think it will be good. Maybe you take Kenan Sadiq, or maybe not. We won't fall out from. Maybe take another corner. You maybe take Colton Hood, Keith Abney, Jamal McCoy. Maybe he's on the table. I think I had him falling to 29, picked up by the Rams. So it's going to be another interesting area to think about. But I will let you guys know what I think about the rest of this. I want to get to one last thing. There's also some small salary cap fillers that I will want to talk about, is Will Dissly, Mekhi Becton, and Savion Washington waived. You can probably get a tight end later. This tight end class isn't as bad as people think. I think you can definitely get a tight end like Doley or Trigg somewhere later in the later day 2 picks. Take a guard or a swing tackle in the first round for the Chargers. I have them going Caleb Lomu or Pregnon or Proctor, or one of those type of later first round, early second round type of guys. And Savion Washington's gone too, which it's not really a starter, but it was depth. But you're not going to take a depth tackle because they already have their 2 tackles for the future. So it's gonna be an interesting way. Diggs is gone. That's what I wanted to talk about. Diggs is gone. So I'm probably gonna have the Patriots taking a receiver pretty frequently this year, because the reason is, oh wait, I'm not even showing this. God, it's pretty bad. But yeah, so Diggs is gone. This is the post I was looking at. That didn't really require a photo, but Diggs is gone. This is the post he made. Thank you for a hell of a year. Be family forever. I think Diggs, I don't think he will ever retire with a ring. I just don't think maybe if he's like takes like the OBJ Ravens role, where he's like the third guy, or like the second B or second A or something. Like, he's not gonna be that number 1 guy. But I think he definitely can be a Super Bowl champion if he does that, but I don't think he would be Super Bowl champion and be number one. And I feel like the Chiefs or the Bills was his best chance of doing that, and then that obviously didn't work out. So I think, I don't know where he goes now. I haven't really thought about that, but I just wanted to let you just talk about that. He's gone, and Drake May is now throwing to not great players, and that's going to be another interesting way. But this wide receiver class is very deep, so I wouldn't really worry about that much. And they also have a bunch of money to spend in free agency. I wouldn't worry about that much either. Bobby Okereke is gone too. As a Giants fan, they're probably going to take Sonny Styles or Caleb Downs. With his knee issues and his reports of his knee issues, I'm probably going to take Styles. But yeah, it's sad, man. I really wish Bobby Okereke did so much better. He was so good at run tackling sometimes, and they didn't do him any justice. This team is so dysfunctional, and it's just such a shame that this happens. But I think he can definitely be, I don't know how old he is, but I think he definitely can be like a good linebacker too in another scenario. That's pretty much about it. I think that this has honestly been a pretty crazy day for the NFL. There's been some good cuts. The league year starts in. The new league year starts on the 11th, I'm pretty sure. So that's gonna be an interesting area to talk about. But definitely think there were some good moves made today. My favorite move was definitely the Chiefs getting some of the capital. I think this is a very mature move for them. I think mature is the best way to describe from it, because why overpay or fuck up your entire roster salary situation if you're gonna have to overpay for a guy and fuck it up the entire year. It just makes more sense. And for the Rams to get the corner one, honestly, not a bad idea. I will see you guys later today on mock draft. I recorded this yesterday, so I recorded the mock draft yesterday. So team needs might change, and it sucks, but this is probably that's my luck, man. I've recorded a mock draft the Tuesday the night before once or twice when I was out of town, like one of the 2 weeks. Each week I recorded it on Tuesday once each, and that really sucks, but I'm probably gonna start doing it on Wednesday just regularly, or keep it on Tuesday, and when free agency's over, or keep it on Wednesday, and then when free agency's over, I'll pre-record. But thank you all for watching. Let me know what you guys think. I will see you guys in the next video.